Hello, Roomies.
And welcome back
To Read the Room,
A Culture Club.
a podcast by
Alexys.
Kaylin.
and Larsen.
Today, our episode is on modern, teen-focused film adaptations of Shakespearean works.
Yes, and boy, are there many.
Yeah, do you know that actually just in general, broad scope, there are over 200 film adaptations based on Shakespeare's works?
That is a phenomenal amount.
That's crazy because, they haven't been making films for that long.
No, just a little bit more than 100 years or so.
So that means that, we're pumping out, on average, more than one Shakespeare adaptation per year.
Approximately 2-ish, depending on what we're qualifying.
On how you want to do that math. But we're focusing today just on adaptations in the 20th and 21st century that have specifically sought to modernize Shakespeare's plots and appeal to teen audiences.
Yeah, there's so many on this list that I had no idea either growing up watching them that they were adaptations or the first one on our list, West Side Story. I had no idea that was a Romeo and Juliet adaptation. I was never taught West Side Story. I honestly don't know if I've ever watched a version of West Side Story, but I had no idea.
West Side Story was one of my favorite movies growing up, one of my favorite musicals. I had the CD, and on road trips, I would force my family to listen to it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that tracks.
You know what's crazy is that West Side Story, which came out in 1961, that's now so prolific in popular culture that there are West Side Story adaptations and riffs. But yeah, I also didn't know or really think about, I guess I knew West Side Story was about forbidden love from different sides, but I never put two and two together that that's definitely playing on Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I feel like it is one of the more obvious ones compared to some of the others on the list.
Oh, for sure.
However, I do think because you said it's become its own thing, we just don't even think about it.
Yes. And also most people consume a lot of these things, but specifically West Side Story has been around since we've been alive, obviously. So you consume it at such an early age. It just is its own entity.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then some of these what we would consider tropes have existed, or even if, let's say, Shakespeare introduced the trope, and then in our modern stuff, let's say West Side Story really popularized that trope.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times that you just don't even think about where this came from.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the big conversations you can have about how easy it is to slip Shakespeare references and Shakespeare adaptations into our modern pop culture landscape. It's so prolific that sometimes a Shakespearean trope is being used, but it's now beyond Shakespeare.
Yeah, and kind of on the other hand of that, we have the 1996 Baz Luhrmann adaptation that is very popularized. Obviously, Romeo and Juliet. That is the there's no name changes. There's no. It's just a very different adaptation than you see from most Romeo and Juliet stories.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, I think that many people, or at least I've seen many a film critic wannabe hail the 1996 Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet. And it is a fun watch, but it's definitely a specific kind of adaptation. They're still speaking in the original Shakespearean text. So the language is one that a lot of modern teens would find archaic, but then it's got a very modernized setting of Venice Beach, California. They're wearing gaudy floral shirts and chains, and there's guns, and it's very Shakespeare for the MTV generation.
Yeah, I will admit I have not watched this adaptation either. I do think I've watched bits and pieces of it.
Well, yeah, we definitely watched it in high school, or parts of it in high school for our Shakespeare unit.
Yeah, I think we just watched the lower budget true Shakespeare are those even adaptations if they're just
the play?
Reading the play? I
don't think so.
It is a movie. It's not just watching the play necessarily, but it is line for line.
A faithful adaptation.
Yeah, very faithful adaptation.
Or is it just a filmed play? Is it just
But it's not just like on a stage. Like they're still like they're like in a castle on the like they're like real settings, you know?
Okay.
So I feel like it's not just a filmed play. Like I don't know.
Okay.
But that's what we watched in
Gotcha.
Something very classical.
Yes, but I do think our sophomore English teacher, Alexys's and mine had Romeo and Juliet poster
He had a
on the wall
poster,
in his classroom of Leo, I believe on his knees, kind of in agony, like looking up at the heavens.
Yeah. I was having that same memory, of seeing the poster on the wall. And it sets a mood, sets a vibe.
It does.
You know, it's nice when you're having your students read Romeo and Juliet in class to be able to point to this very particular visual that's like relatable for them. Also, I think when kids like see Shakespeare being translated in so many different ways, it makes it feel more relatable.
Mm-hmm. Those might be the two most popular Romeo and Juliet adaptations that at least our age group knows of.
I think by far the most popular. The other ones we have on our list here, I fear I know very little about.
Yeah.
Like even their existence.
But there were some other ones like Valley Girl in 1983, which was directed by Martha Coolidge, and China Girl in 1987 by Abel Ferreira, and Romeo Must Die in 2000, directed by Andrei Barkowiak.
Another Romeo and Juliet adaptation is Warm Bodies 2013, directed by Jonathan Levine. And both of you guys have seen that, or just Alexys?
I saw it when it came out in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Me as well, but that was 2013. That was high school.
Yes.
And I liked it so much when it came out that like I think that I like had like a Tumblr post that was like a screen grab of the movie with like a quote over it.
That feels about right.
I was like, what a beautiful love story.
I did not have that. But I was in love with both Nicholas Hoult and Teresa Palmer, so I was like, wow, this is perfect.
This is like,
and it's
watch
zombies.
that tape.
Yeah, there's a zombies.
Yeah, just like kind of funny thing. I like it's described as Romeo and Juliet, but it starts with death instead of ends with death, which is just a fun little spin.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a fun little spin. He's a zombie.
Yeah. It's quite a fun little spin.
Yeah, but it's also, there's something kind of poetic and Shakespearean in there. What if I loved you to the point of life instead of loving you so I'll die with you?
Yeah. You tell him, sister.
Yeah.
I was too cool for things like this when I was in high school, but now I'm cooler and I want to watch that.
So I think that there's just clearly like a plethora. I think Romeo and Juliet might be the most frequented, modernized, adolescent-focused adaptation on the list.
Yeah, I think it's also probably one of the better known stories on the list.
For sure.
And I think that probably contributes to it being, palatable.
The
for
popularity.
a crowd. Yeah.
I mean, I think that probably a good place as we start out is establishing that this is a trend, right? The idea of taking in the last century Shakespearean works, modernizing them to some degree, whether it's the language or the setting or the age of the characters. There's a spectrum of like very faithful to so innovative, such an innovative approach.
Such a different take.
That we can barely recognize it. But there is a huge body of work there. And I think that because of its prevalence, R&J is like a good place to start with that.
Absolutely. And we kind of have some that are like, I was going to call them one-hit wonders, one adaptation-ers, like Tempest, 1982, obviously based on The Tempest, directed by Paul Mazursky. And My Private Idaho, 1991, which is a Henry IV, Part 1, Part 2, and then Henry V by Gus Van Sant. That title intrigues me greatly. My Private Idaho.
Yeah, when I was looking into like trying to get a list of all these different adaptations, because there's some that I think we all know, but I was like, there's got to be more out there.
Yeah.
This was consistently ranked #1 for adaptations.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah. It has Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix in.
Which sounds, that's a star-studded 1991 cast there.
Yeah. Takes place in Portland, Oregon, I'm pretty sure.
These are you're just adding points.
I know.
Do we need group viewing?
Yeah.
And then we have Kiss Me Kate, 1953 Taming of the Shrew adaptation. Not really a rom-com, directed by George Sidney.
Also was then developed into like a musical, which is kind of
Oh,
interesting.
okay. Yeah, adaptation of an adaptation of an adaptation. That reminds me of Wicked.
Mhm.
Like how we
Yeah.
got from Wicked, the book, to the current adaptations of Wicked.
Mhm.
Very interesting.
But I mean, I feel like it's not far off because most of the movies that came out in like the 40s and 50s had singing and dancing.
That is very true.
Yeah.
So it's easy
That
to
was
take
kind of the
that.
vibe.
Yeah, easy to
They
take that.
needed
turn
to
it.
capture the attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strike while the iron's hot. 10 Things I Hate About You, 1999. I feel like this is one that a lot of people are familiar with.
Mhm.
Also a Taming of the Shrew adaptation, directed by Gil Younger.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but 10 Things I Hate About You is one of my favorite movies
Yeah.
growing up. Like Y2K. I mean, it's 1999, but I was watching it
Yeah.
in the 2000s, and it was one of my favorite movies growing up once I became like old enough to like watch that film. And it's set in an American high school. It's fully modernized adaptation of Taming of the Shrew. Taming of the Shrew also coincidentally is one of my favorite like Shakespearean plays.
Mhm.
As a comedy, it follows Heath Ledger, big name, as Patrick or Petruchio, and then he's paid to date Kat, who's played by Julia Stiles, so that her popular younger sister can start dating. And it's a really fun take on it. It was successful, definitely very successful for the time. Grossed over 53 million at the box office.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that one?
Oh yeah, I watched that so many times. I'm pretty sure that was one of the first movies we got on DVD.
Yeah. I'm not sure I've seen this film in its entirety.
Oh my gosh, you need to. That is
It's one of those that I think I've seen, but I'm just like,
that's a we have to do a
Yeah.
movie night
okay,
for that. That's
well, haul the big screen out and we'll blow her up.
Yeah, you gotta go back and watch. I do hate to report that I do a coming of age unit with my sophomores.
Mhm.
So like 15, 16 years old. And I said, oh, we'll watch a movie for our coming of age unit. This was last year, not this year. And so I played them 10 Things I Hate About You. I got about 15 minutes into the movie and there was like a penis drawn on someone's face.
yeah.
There's a lot of sexual innuendo
Yeah.
that I had forgot about
Yeah.
with the rosy glow of my like childhood.
Well, I mean,
yes.
there's a whole over drinking
Yeah.
scene. You know, there's a lot of talk about having sex. Like
Yeah.
it's certainly not necessarily high school class approved.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
It's not the role models you want to be talking about in
Like-
your high school English class.
Yeah, if Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet has become like a high school classroom staple, 10 Things I Hate About You is certainly not in that category. Great watch,
Yeah.
but I was mortified. I had to turn it off and be like, never mind. I'm sorry, we have to pick a different film. Like, I'm not going to get 10,000 parent emails,
Yeah.
but
Well, the whole scene with the dad making Bianca put on the pregnant belly before she can go out. Like,
yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
it's very much a teen movie. It's not a watch it in school teen movie.
Yeah. Patrick lights a cigarette on a Bunsen burner in the
Mhm.
classroom. Like,
Yeah, it's not the best for keeping your kids in check.
hilarious though.
Yeah. A movie we did watch in high school English class was She's the Man after we completed 12th Night. That's a 2006 adaptation directed by Andy Fickman with Amanda Bynes. I feel like this is one of those that is also extremely well known, has been
So
consumed
popular.
a lot. Yeah.
Mhm. And maybe a little bit more so for our age group.
Yes.
Because 10 Things I Hate About You is 99. This is 2006. It's
Yeah, it's a little bit more in the prime of our
Yeah.
sleepover years.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
is like Amanda Bynes, like
Yeah.
in her prime, like fresh off of like her Nickelodeon run, starting to do other work. I mean,
Yeah.
hilarious. This one also has some. Did we watch that in school? I feel like this one also has innuendo.
It probably
it's way
does,
less
but
though.
yeah, I think it is a little bit more reeled in, like from what I remember about this. But there is like the scene where when she is undercover as her brother gets a bloody nose.
With the
And
tampon.
yeah. And I actually maybe Channing Tatum gets a bloody nose because that's her roommate is Channing Tatum.
Yeah, she has tampons in her bag, and he's
Yes.
like, "What are those for?" And she covers
yes.
by saying that's what she does, and then later on in the movie, he has him in his nose. I feel like it has things like that, but not
Yeah.
as much explicit sex.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
language.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or just general rambunctiousness. I feel like it's a little
Yeah.
bit more tame in all aspects.
It has the same kind of like comedic style, even if it is a little
Mhm.
toned back, which actually
it does have the not shown flashing
Mm.
of the penis and the boobs.
Yeah.
at the soccer game,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It makes sense, though, that they would give a similar vibe and have a similar level of success. 10 Things I Hate About You and She's the Man, because they were actually written by the same people.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know until I started looking things up, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Very, very similar vibed adaptations. There's 2 more 12th Night adaptations we should mention. Just One of the Guys, 1985. That is Lisa Gottlieb. And then Motocross, 2001.
Which is a Disney Channel movie.
Disney OG.
Okay. I was thinking that sounded familiar, and I was like, maybe I don't know.
I do. I didn't realize until I Googled it, because I was like, motocross, that sounds. Yes, I do remember this Disney Channel original film where there is a girl who wants to do like motocross BMX and her dad won't let her
Oh
because
my
she's
gosh,
a girl.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
This is all coming.
So she has to go into undercover boy mode.
Yes. I totally remember this. And she's such a good boy. That sounded so fucking weird.
It's an odd clip.
Oh my gosh. This is like buried in the depths of my brain. That's crazy.
Yeah. 12th Night, is one of the ones that has seemingly been spoofed or adapted or
Yes.
modernized next to Romeo and Juliet. Not quite as many examples, but maybe like the next most. And as we're like listing out She's the Man and Motocross, and I'm like recalling these films, that makes a lot of sense to me because it feels like that is a plot that is so prime for comedy.
Yes.
In particular.
Definitely.
Yeah, comedy and just like general hijinks, a little bit of like will they won't, like it's
Well, and I feel like it's if your audience is a teenage girl,
Yeah.
or like, preteen girl,
yes.
telling a story of how she's told she's not good enough and not worth it or whatever, and she says fuck that, that's perfect story for that age group.
Yeah. Well, and I can't remember motocross, but they both have motocrossed.
Like Starcross, but they're motocrossed.
But they both have like a little bit of a love interest plot too.
Yeah.
So it's like you can have it all, girl. You can play on the boys' soccer team and make out with Channing Tatum. Like it's all it's perfect life.
The perfect boy won't be intimidated by your amazing soccer or motocross abilities.
Yeah. The perfect boy will put tampons in his nose for you.
Yeah, it's interesting that there is actually a little bit, if you think about it that way, for that audience of like a teen girl, there's a little bit of a feminist empowering lens there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one that same year as She's the Man, which, in some ways you could say it has a feminist lens. I would say, sure. Is John Tucker Must Die.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Yes. I watched this, I think for the first time. There were so many scenes where I was like, this feels familiar. Is it just the 2006 of it all, or is it the Shakespeare of it all? But it was real. I enjoyed it.
I really liked that movie. That was one of our, like, not an every sleepover movie, but was in the mix heavily.
Yeah.
I never knew it was Merry Wives of Windsor.
No, I would have had no. I mean, I've never read Merry Wives of Windsor, and the multiple things I had seen were like, it is very loosely adapted. And I was looking at a little bit of the plot of Merry Wives of Windsor, and then I did get distracted because I do have ADHD. But I was like, yeah, this is kind of not at all the plot of John Tucker Must Die, but I see the similarities.
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
It is and it isn't, which is probably what we could say about
Most of
them.
these.
Many of these.
Yeah.
But, I think that anytime we flip the script and we hunt a man, yeah, that's a little that's a feminist thing.
Yes. And honestly, it was funny, and most of it still stood up. There were a couple of scenes where I was like, that's a little cringy. But for the most part, like,
he embraced wearing a thong, wore it to basketball practice.
honestly, that it's like the what's the girl in Mean Girls, the main one,
Regina George.
It's like when the
cutouts.
Yes, it's like every little thing she just spins to like be like a promo for her.
Yeah.
No, that was good. I thought it was honestly pretty smart and fun.
Yeah. And I liked how none of them ended up with him in the end. He did learn.
Yeah.
And the the girls all stayed relatively friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially they were from different cliques.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
No, I very much enjoyed that.
I will say, just for like the sake of comparison, since we're kind of talking about the like feminist, the feminist possible spinnings, underpinnings of some of these like more modernized adaptions that clearly are leaning into an audience of young people, and probably specifically young girls, right? Like we remember them all. We literally sleepover movie, right? But 10 Things I Hate About You, when I was reading about these Shakespeare adaptations, that was one that was specifically pointed out for doing that thing, where in Taming of the Shrew, it's not a very feminist plot. Like,
Yeah.
there's the idea that when Shakespeare wrote Taming of the Shrew, he wanted the subtext to be that Cat wins in the end, that Cat is clever and is able to kind of like outsmart Petruchio while still seemingly submitting. But the like actual direct text is that the shrew is tamed and submits to this man. Whereas in 10 Things I Hate About You, this modernized adaptation, Cat actually stays really true to herself. Like, she is loved not in spite of her fiery kind of independent spirit, but eventually loved for it. And through that, like, she doesn't have to change.
Yeah. She doesn't change, but she does have character development. Like, her and her
Right.
sister end up being closer. She's a little bit less judgy of other people, but she remains the same.
She softens, but she's not tamed.
Yeah.
And I think that is a much better, obviously, message for young girls. So that's an interesting kind of way of remedying a problematic origin text.
Definitely.
Playing with it.
Yeah. And just like another note of 10 Things I Hate About You, it's the most like, I guess, meta of all the adaptations, because you have a character in there who is like obsessed with Shakespeare. They do a lot of like little funny things with it. Like it's not just like, oh, we're loosely adapting this. We're going to kind of poke fun at it. We're going to like bring it back to the forefront.
Yeah.
It's fun.
There's a lot of Shakespeare Easter eggs in 10 Things I Hate About You. And there is in some of the other ones as well.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say, I feel like She's the Man. Also, there were some Easter eggs in there. Yeah.
I feel like the Easter eggs I feel like they're
more deep.
Well, no, they're less Easter eggs because they're more like
obvious.
I'm giving it to you straight right here.
I hear you. Yeah, it's an Easter egg if you've never consumed any Shakespeare, and then one day you read Twelfth Night in sophomore year, and then you're like, oh wow, I'm so smart, and then you feel like you found all these things.
Yeah, like in 10 Things I Hate About You, her friend is obsessed with William Shakespeare, and then one of the guy characters asks her to the prom as William Shakespeare. That's the whole like that's not an Easter egg.
Yeah, and it knows what it's doing. Like it's very aware.
It does. And even like, it's not like Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet where it uses Shakespearean language, but there's like a couple select moments where it nods. Like, one of the characters literally like in an anguished teenage love spell moment is like, I burn, I pine. And like, that is a line directly from that character's bit of text. But in that moment, using it for this teen character having this dramatic heartache, like, it works and it's cheeky.
Yeah. Well, and I'd venture to say the people that are making these films, these adaptations, they love Shakespeare. They love the source material.
They know what they're
so
doing.
like they are having so much fun with either the most super obvious things or just like the name references that aren't super like obvious, like the just the little tiny things. Like they're just having such a good time and playing so much with it, right?
I will say one of this era that is like, that's different in tone, darker in tone, and maybe the lack of like prevalence of dark toned adaptations is in part because this one didn't have the same level of box office success as the ones we've already mentioned, is O, which is a 2001 adaptation of Othello directed by Tim Blake Nelson. This is like got the romance plot. It's set in high school. It's about a star basketball player whose life is manipulated by, a jealous and scheming peer. So very much taking the like Othello plot. But it is not doing comedy. It is definitely sticking with the tragedy of it all, which makes sense because Othello is a tragedy, and a lot of the ones we've already named, Twelfth Night, Taming of a Shrew, those are comedies in the original text.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear a lot about O. Like, the only reason I even knew about it is because several years ago I taught Othello to a group of high school seniors, and I was looking for an adaptation to show them, and I came across it and showed it to them. But it's like, it's so it's hard to take something so dark as like Othello strangling Desdemona,
Yeah.
and then make high schoolers do that.
Yeah. And like, yeah, sure, you could do something a little bit different, a little bit more normal for the time and place. But like,
but at the same time, I feel like why it does work in a high school setting is that it does have some of these like themes that teenagers still are feeling.
For sure.
And like experiencing, even if maybe it's not the majority of people, these are definitely actions, events that happen to teenagers all the time.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The themes are still going to be like relevant to that teen audience. And I think it's a cool adaptation still. But I just wonder if like we didn't see a ton of tragedy adaptations around the same era because...
Yeah, this is not an adaptation. And I haven't seen O, so I don't know exactly like... because the movie I'm thinking of, I wouldn't say overall is a comedy, but it has comedic moments. It has funny lines. So like, you know, you're watching somewhat of a drama, but it has that romance. It has a little bit of comedy. I haven't seen O. I don't know if there's layers to that. But what it made me think of, which came out in 2001 as well, is Save the Last Dance.
Yeah.
That covers a lot of dark topics.
Yeah, that's such a great film. Also stars Julia Stiles is in both films.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I feel like I've watched both of these in like a rental fever dream. By rental, I mean like video rental.
Yeah.
Your parents force you to pick something, and you might be a little like sugar high and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on in this movie.
Save the Last Dance did numbers in my household. I don't know
I
how
love that
successful
movie.
it was overall, but like, based off of just what we're talking about, it's giving me similar vibes as O.
Yeah.
But I had never heard of O before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's similar in that they are both films of that era about high school students with an overall dark theme starring Julia Stiles alongside a man of color.
But like, they both deal with like death and violence and like drugs, and you know, like, it's like there are all of those darker themes, even if it's not a one for one. What I'm saying is they can do both. When you're comparing them to a 10 Things I Hate About You, they're definitely more in that same...
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely put like Save the Last Dance and O closer together than 10 Things I Hate About You near the other two. Like they're doing something similar and something that's different than those kind of more like lighthearted approaches. But like both are important for teens. Like both are important for adolescent audiences. They got to have media that speaks to all of the varied experiences of life. I do think it's worth mentioning that O was actually supposed to be released in 1999, but was pushed back due to the Columbine shooting.
There, again, just another tangent. There's an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that also, I can't remember if it did get pushed, but it was going to be released around the same time, and they were kind of like, do we release it or not?
Yeah.
Because it is a school shooting episode, and it's like...
Yeah, is that too insensitive, or is it drawing a pretty necessary attention to a pretty bad issue? I mean, like, obviously school shootings weren't as prevalent as they were or
are now.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, I could see that being a really hard decision for I don't know if the studio is the person who makes that decision, I guess.
Yeah.
Have either of you seen the 2000 adaptation of Hamlet? Speaking of like adaptations based on tragedies for a second. That one also stars Julia Stiles, but I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
I have not, but I did see it was Ethan Hawke and Julia Stiles, and age gap.
Yeah, they're
age gap.
Okay, but I feel like Ethan Hawke is younger than I think he is.
In the movie, at the time of filming,
Yeah.
she was 19 and he was like
Okay.
almost 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's
Wait,
Ophelia.
Yeah.
Aw.
Alexys, those movies that you love, that's a three series decades apart,
Yeah?
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Okay, when did the first one come out?
The
80s?
first, no, I think 90s and then 2000s and then
How old is
2010s.
he? He
The
looks like a
Before
baby
series.
boy.
Well, he was probably like,
I guess if he's 20 there and he's 30 in
Yeah.
what you said 2000, that kind of makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, time's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I have not seen this Hamlet adaptation with Ethan Hawke and Julia Stiles.
But I just, man, Julia Stiles was
She was
killing
in
it.
everything.
working. Yeah.
She was working. If O hadn't been pushed back, then that would have meant that in 1999 she would have been in both 10 Things I Hate About You and O. Like she would have in the same year
Yeah.
been in Shakespeare tragedy, Shakespeare comedy adaptations.
Yeah, and then Hamlet the next year.
And then Save the Last Dance the next year.
Oh my
The
god.
next year. They were booking her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she booked him busy, babe.
Kind of same timeline, very different vibe is Get Over It, which is a Midsummer Night's Dream adaptation. I always want to say Midsummer's Night Dream,
Yeah,
but Midsummer
Midsummer
Night's
Nights.
Dream.
For all you nerds out there, we respect you.
Have you guys? I haven't seen this one, but I think does this one star? What's the girl from Spider-Man? The
Oh,
OG Spider-Man.
yes,
Oh,
Kirsten Dunst.
yes.
Yes, it has Kirsten
yes.
Dunst in it.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I love her. I
Yeah.
love Kirsten Dunst.
This is one where I feel like I have like a fever dream memory of
Yeah.
it, but I don't feel like I actually ever watched it.
Yeah, like the title sounds so familiar, but
And like the cover of the movie, when I was looking at it, I was like, this looks like I've seen it.
did
It
I just see
feels
that at
like I
Hollywood
should have seen
video
it,
so
but
many times that
yeah.
it's just numb to me?
Yeah.
I
But-
need to put this one on my list because I feel like A Midsummer Night's Dream be such a good
Yeah.
text for one
or
of
like
these.
a teen movie.
Exactly.
You would expect there to be more.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there isn't because it's such a good plot of like love gone wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
hijinks. Speaking of hijinks.
Yeah, the only other one that we found is a Midsummer Night's Rave, which I have heard of, but I don't think that I know anything about.
Yeah, specifically under the more teen-oriented movies.
Yeah.
There are other
Yeah.
A Midsummer Night's Dream
Yes,
movies,
yes.
but like for the teen kind of variety.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have not heard of A Midsummer Night's Rave before.
Yeah. And that's Gil Cates Jr. Also don't know what they've done.
Yeah. But if the title's confusing me, if the title is confusing to you, it's a Midsummer Night's Dream, the play, taking place at a rave
Yeah.
where everyone's on drugs.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
honestly.
Which also happens, well, just that select portion really
Mhm.
kind of happens in Saltburn. They have a Midsummer Night's
Rave.
party, rave, birthday party situation
Yeah.
where everyone's dressed up in character
Yeah.
and there are a lot of drugs and murder.
Murder. Too
Yeah.
much murder and not enough kissing your
Mhm.
best friend's crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sorry. I was gonna say sucking up cum water, but that's just
That would not be in a teen rom-com from the 2000s.
sure would not. That was in Saltburn.
That would have broken the fetus internet that we had then.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I cannot imagine if that happened when we were in high school.
Yeah. Speaking of the changing times, we do have one like much more modern example on our list. I guess it's just kind of worth a mention that even though most of the movies that we've referenced were made, you know, from 1960 to 2006, Anyone But You came out in 2023, and it is an adaptation of a Shakespeare comedy, Much Ado About Nothing.
I would say I wouldn't classify it as a teen.
No,
Yeah,
movie?
it is more adult rom-com.
young adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loosely adapted, Much Ado About Nothing.
When I was like searching, it came up on the list, and people were like, actually, this film directed by Will Gluck was charming and was an unlikely runaway box office hit. apparently people have given it the title of the highest grossing live action adaptation of a
I hate
Shakespeare
that.
play.
Wow.
I really did not like
Which
this movie at
doesn't
all.
feel right. It doesn't feel right.
No.
When I watched it in the movie theater, when I paid my hard-earned dollars for it, I enjoyed it. Did I try to watch it again when it was out on streaming services? Yes. Could I get through it? No.
I only watched it streaming. I hated it. So I did finish it, but the whole time I was complaining.
Yeah. Well, now I think with the things we know about Sydney Sweeney, I just can't.
It wasn't even. It was. This could be a total tangent, but
That's
like,
okay. That's what the parasocial relationship is for.
it was I hate the like cringy comedy for the sake of making a cringy
Yeah.
moment. So like
Yeah.
when she sticks her hand down his pants, whatever, like because there is like a spider, or I don't, or they're trying to like make someone think that they're like
Yeah.
into each other. That's not what you would do in real life. You would not immediately stick your hand fully down someone's
Yeah.
pants in public on a hike. You would like cuddle up to them. You would like snuggle, you would kiss them, you would whatever.
Yeah. And there can still also be like hijinks and
Yeah.
like scandal all in that.
Yeah, but it's the like gimmick is not the right word, but like
Yeah.
that like
No, yeah.
annoying comedy where you're like, that is unrealistic,
Yeah.
not funny, and you only did it for the sake of making some like cheap laugh.
And
Yeah.
it belongs more in like a 2005 Will Ferrell than it does
Yeah.
in a
Yeah, I was thinking
2023.
like Ben Stiller.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
very
Yes.
like slapstick, and
Yes.
it makes it feel like the movie is aiming down
Exactly.
at you to get your laughs.
Yeah.
And when you're watching it, you don't want to be talked down to. And what's
No.
really interesting is that the comedy style of something like Anyone But You is actually more immature, even though it's an adult romantic comedy, than some of the comedy that we see in, say, She's the Man
Oh,
or 10
yeah.
Things I Hate About
Definitely.
You.
Yeah, or John Tucker Must Die. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
definitely like, it is a better, more well thought out comedic bit, more so happening than just like slapstick comedy, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's still hijinks and goofiness in like some of those movies that we mentioned, but it's not dumb. It's not
Yeah.
low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We've got some honorable mentions here that are non-Shakespeare adaptations that
Yeah.
kind of follow classics to modern, or classics to, I guess they're all modern, right?
And they definitely fit in that era of movie.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
one that's a little bit later, but like in general, they
Era,
fit.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they fit in
Yeah.
that timeline of like elite teen movies.
Right, exactly. Like top tier teen rom-coms
Yes.
that are based on literary classics.
Yeah.
Maybe inspired by this Shakespeare trend, or if not directly inspired by the films that we've already mentioned, definitely just following what was popular at the time.
Yeah. Well, Clueless, 1995,
You're right.
came out before
Yes.
the majority of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Clueless in 1995.
I mean, not before West Side Story, which is an obvious Romeo and Juliet adaptation.
I mean, it is.
I'm sorry, okay?
Thought about how Clueless, which is based off of Jane Austen's Emma,
Mhm.
came out before Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet and before 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe
she-
we
is
all
she the
owe it to
trendsetter?
Austen. It's just like Amanda steal a woman's
Yes,
credit.
It sure is. Yeah, no, I remember, I haven't watched Clueless in years, but I did watch it a decent amount of times, and it's a fun,
Yeah.
fun on the outfits, man.
Yeah.
Those little pants, or not pants, skirt, suit skirt, is that what's happening there?
Yeah.
And hats, lots of hats.
Lots of hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was obsessed.
Yeah, I was always like, why do you want your stepbrother's dick so much? But, you know, it'd be
But they're
like
not
that
step
sometimes.
siblings anymore.
That
They're
is true.
former step
Yeah.
siblings.
And that makes
it
it
right.
kosher.
And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. In the real Emma, it's her brother-in-law. Like, it's
Yes.
her older sister married this guy's brother.
Yes.
So,
that seems
it's-
so much more acceptable.
kosher.
Yes.
but yeah,
Yeah.
you can't really make that a teen movie. So,
But I loved Clueless, and I also loved She's All That.
she's
Okay,
all that.
hold on. I think you could make that a teen movie. You older sister gets married.
Yeah,
Has
okay.
hot
But-
younger brother. Husband has hot younger brother.
Yeah, that's true. You could if you could have.
Yeah.
You have to change Clueless plot a little bit, but you could.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's the Clueless plot. I'm saying
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sorry, Alexis. She's
No,
all
it's
that.
okay. No, this is important because actually what we need to do is we need to have the Roomies
Yes.
donate money, crowd fund. We'll make our own adaptation, teen rom-com adaptation of Emma.
Yes.
And we'll be more faithful to the OG plot.
Honestly, though, do we want to even touch Clueless? Because it is... It's
but we're not
basically
touching Clueless.
It's basically
we're touching
perfect.
Emma.
Okay, well, why don't we just pick a different one?
You're right. There's much
Yeah.
we could adapt.
Northanger Abbey, that would be fun.
The Maricaster Bridge. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. I did do a project on that in high school.
Just saying I'm feeling very inspired going
Crime and Punishment. Tale of Two Cities. Tale of Two Cities actually might be a good one.
We've come to a natural point in this conversation of like, we know what literary classics should have been adapted to teen rom-coms.
There's so many, and I think we need to get those great minds back. Like, bring back the writer of 10 Things I Hate About You and She's the Man. Like, those were brilliant minds.
We don't want anyone but you.
No, what is that slop? Like, there are so many amazing classics to choose from.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a play. It doesn't have to be Shakespeare. You can really, go at it.
Yeah, have some fun with it.
I know this is kind of wild and a tangent, but on this topic, I was having a crazy car thought the other day.
Those are the best.
My ADHD was popping off. I was thinking about how we were going to record this episode, and I was like, you know what? Someone needs to write a teen rom-com adaptation of Macbeth. But the main character is named Beth, and it's a lesbian. It's a lesbian couple at the center of it.
Yeah,
that's just like, get on that, someone.
Yeah,
TM. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like who out there would be Greta Gerwig. I feel like she could pull this off. Emerald Fennell can go suck a dick and just be quiet.
Emerald Fennell can have Dickens. She could go
yeah. Please. Emerald Fennell, I need a Tale of Two Cities adaptation. You're the only one that can make it horrible. But I'm like, who out there?
Who was the director of, not that they wrote it necessarily, but Set It Up, that Netflix rom-com? That was actually really funny.
Set It Up.
Yeah, it's
so good. With Glenn Powell and why can't I remember her name? She's
is Glenn
Zoe
Powell
Deutsch.
the new who's the one that was in all Julie Stiles? No, the one that was in all other ones that we talked about for a while earlier.
Heath Ledger?
No, the girl.
Yeah, Julia Stiles.
Julia Stiles.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
yeah, okay. That didn't feel right. Is Glenn Powell the new Julia Stiles? Is he going to be in all these?
I mean, he's in a lot of movies, but this was good Glenn Powell. Set It Up, so good.
I know
Glenn Powell.
this.
Oh my god, you have to watch it. It's
Okay.
so freaking
It
good.
came out in 2018.
Yeah, it's so good.
How did I miss that?
That has the vibes of the old school
Yeah.
rom-coms.
I was about to say Set It Up almost has like a Shakespearean comedy style plot, even though it's not.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're trying to set up their bosses so that they're not miserable, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they fall in love.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that the plot sounds vaguely familiar.
It's so good. And I want Zoe Deutsch to be she could still look like a teenager, or we could have it set in college.
Yeah.
She's so funny. She's such a good actress. Or what's the actress who was just in People We Meet on Vacation and My Lady Jane? Also perfect for that style of film.
I like her.
Yes. Yeah. Do we feel like the people who did Crazy Rich Asians would do a good adaptation?
Probably.
I just feel like that movie just like feels in such a way that it could be like,
Yeah, probably.
and also fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
so hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah. We need to bring it back.
Yeah. It's not hard.
No.
Bring it back to a place of She's All That.
We were getting one once a year for a
Yes.
long time.
A long time. Banger after banger. You know what? Even bring it back to Easy A 2010.
Yes.
Scarlet Letter.
Yeah.
Riff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who
good,
would
so
think
fun.
the Scarlet Letter? Like,
I know. Who would?
Was that Nathaniel Hawthorne?
Yeah, when
right?
Nathaniel Hawthorne
Yeah.
wrote the Scarlet Letter, I'm sure he was thinking about this.
The one thing that comes to mind whenever I think of ECA is a Nathaniel Hawthorne poem that's like The Priest in the Black Veil. And oh my God, that is very haunting. I haven't read it since I was in like senior year of high school, maybe. So haunting. And it is like it describes exactly the like veiled woman in the Insidious movies.
Oh.
Yeah. Fucking scary, man.
What a
I'll have to
beautiful
read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a short story, so it's
Yeah.
probably just like available out there in the interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful mind it takes to take that author's work
Yeah.
And wrap it back to Insidious.
No.
Oh.
To write Easy A.
Oh, I thought you were telling my mind beautiful.
No, yours is too.
Yes,
More
queen.
like in a beautiful mind way, but
Yes, queen.
there's a lot of red tape, red string going
Yeah.
everywhere.
Just to go back to She's All That.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
for
that
sure.
that one is like maybe some aspects of it don't hold up to to present day,
Yes.
but that has that same je ne sais quoi as some of the other ones. I had no idea that it was Pygmalion. I knew that it was My Fair Lady, but I didn't know My Fair Lady was Pygmalion.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what Pygmalion is, so
Well,
I've been honest a lot this episode.
but that's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I always want to gag during the one pizza eating scene, but such a good movie.
Pygmalion for the listeners / Kaylin.
Yeah, I was like, and me,
Is
the beautiful mind.
The Beautiful Mind is a 1913 play by George Bernard Shaw, and then My Fair Lady is its musical adaptation.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. The play has the funky name because it's named after a Greek myth.
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But there's that lineage we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Legacy.
The
Yeah.
legacy.
And it's I want to know why this stopped. Like, who decided to cancel this movement?
Yeah. It's not like we stopped reading Shakespeare in high school. It's
No.
not like we stopped just consuming Shakespeare in other ways.
Yeah,
Like
or even just other adaptations, like this style specifically of
Mhm.
like the teen adaptation. Why did we say, we've had enough?
yeah. Yeah, because like we were saying, those other non-Shakespeare's, same exact era. So
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Do you think it's social media? Do you think social media has stolen too much of our adolescents' attention?
Or
don't
like
know.
are these non-scrolling movies?
For sure, non-scrolling movies.
Yeah. But I mean, we're also making non-scrolling movies. We're making Oppenheimers.
Yeah.
We're making the Barbie movie. Like that. Sorry, I did not mean to put those there because they came out at the same time.
Yes, you did. Your brain did
It's
that
my
without
beautiful
you thinking
mind.
about it.
Yeah. Maybe it's the movement of people being like, we need original stuff, and then not making original
But I
stuff.
feel like these are so original.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I think these are original, but maybe somebody was like, I'm tired of adapting this bullshit, whatever.
It takes so much creativity and
I know.
innovation.
Yeah.
And I would trade Nolan's Odyssey for another
Yes.
good.
I agree.
Yes.
Hot take.
Wait, modern Odyssey adaptation. I mean, other than Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, takes place in high school.
Yes. I'm not sure how we're gonna do
Someone-
that, but
we'll
we'll get
figure it
there.
out.
Someone is left.
Foreign
you-
exchange student?
No, I've got it. I'm
Okay,
I'm
okay.
cooking. Okay.
Cooking with fire. Over here.
Away game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Away game.
What sport?
Oh, perfect. Basketball, obviously.
Yeah. And someone is
All of the great rom-coms
Basketball.
or teen ones,
Yeah.
it's basketball or soccer if it's a girl, but it's basketball.
Okay.
yeah, and someone doesn't make it on the bus to go back to the school.
Yes.
His girlfriend
Yes.
is back there waiting for him at the school dance. Other guys are
Yeah,
trying to
'cause
take
it's like-
her.
yeah.
Mhm.
You see?
Winter formal or
I see,
something.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hijinks of how he gets back.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Side quests.
Some
Yes.
hitchhikers, some
is
corner
perfect.
stores, some
Yeah.
yes.
It would be so fucking funny.
Yes, it
Yes.
would be great.
Wow.
Wow. Guys. Tam. But actually, on that note, and what we've talked about in many of our episodes is kind of how the trends stop, why they stop, and maybe we just need to, like, I don't know, maybe there needs to be a TikTok trend that is like people doing small adaptations of like Shakespeare things or like these types of stories, and like maybe that gets traction, and then we get a TV show and we get a movie. Like we need to be the
Well,
change we want to see in the
I
world.
was gonna just say we're getting these like book adaptation miniseries that are kind of geared towards a younger audience. Maybe we're close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope
Netflix is Netflix going to be our savior?
I
Question
fear
mark?
either Netflix or like Jeff Bezos, which is really hard to say.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Netflix like made Enola Holmes, which I feel like they're trying, but that's too far from what we really want.
And
Yeah.
that one's not my favorite, but every now and then you get a good one.
It's true.
Or
You
a
have to have
decent
the right
one.
people
Yeah,
behind
an
it.
okay one.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
yeah.
definitely have to have the right people behind it.
People who love the original text.
Yeah. Not for a teen audience, I would hope. But Heated Rivalry is a really good example of like that's a very faithful adaptation, but I feel like the minds behind that could take
absolutely
a teen adaptation and go crazy with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to get some of these people reading Shakespeare again. Let a little fire under them.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what's interesting about that conversation of like, obviously there's always been, as long as there's been film, there's been film adaptations of Shakespeare. And there was a long history of these teen rom-com adaptations. It didn't like just start in the 2000s or the 90s, but there was an uptick in the 90s and the 2000s. And if we want to see that uptick in that kind of content again, that like trend resurgence, the classroom isn't a bad place to turn. Like,
no, not at all.
they never stopped reading Shakespeare. They still have to. But I'm kind of like, at the same time, coming from a teacher's perspective, the COVID of it all has made it harder to keep kids engaged in longer texts. And I'm like, this is a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah.
If I had some good works for kids to watch to help them connect with Shakespeare's plots and Shakespeare's themes, maybe it would help them get reading. And if they would just fucking read, maybe they would grow up and make movies.
Yeah.
Well, when we read 12th Night, that was a bribe to get us through reading 12th Night, was that we were going to watch the Amanda Bynes film afterwards. Like, I feel like there are other adaptations and possibly Shakespeare, possibly not, that we did watch throughout high school English. And like, it was a little treat. It was a little snacky. It was like, okay, you did the hard work of the vocab, or I guess not vocab, the literacy, the comprehension quizzes, and reading this text and doing all of this work, writing an essay, and now you get to relax and enjoy and like still continue to learn realistically with this film.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I did that exact same kind of bribery this year with my juniors with The Great Gatsby, where like for 6 weeks they were like, can we watch the movie? Can we watch the movie? Can we watch the movie? And I was like,
soon.
We can watch it when we finish our final project. We can watch it when you finish reading the book. I can't show it to you now.
Yeah. It would spoil.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't finish the book.
So it's just interesting to think about that like relationship between the audience being specifically teens and then education, considering how much the educational system, like the Western educational system, leans into Shakespeare. Like, we love having a Shakespeare play a year for students to have to look at and study. I also, just as a side note, found it really interesting that the spike that we saw does kind of line up with general pushes to make Shakespeare more accessible. Like, I remember when we were in high school, some teachers were like, get the No Fear Shakespeare text.
Yes.
And if you don't remember that, like, No Fear Shakespeare would have the OG play on one side, and on the other side would have like a modernized translation of the text.
Yeah.
That came out in 2003. So, right kind of on the heels of some of these movies.
Yeah, I think that definitely has something to do with that trend. And like we've been saying, we've watched a lot of these adaptations, and like have I read all those plays? No. But I've read a decent amount of them. And then the other plays that I haven't watched the adaptations for, do I remember all those plays necessarily? Overarching plots, yes. But I do think that does probably interest more people, or it makes it more interesting for more people.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like a really great way to show younger people like how themes and symbols and plots and whatever can be like depicted in different ways while still having the same story.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's kind of like eye-opening the first time you see some kind of adaptation like that and are like, whoa, is this play about this play? You know, like, that's crazy. I'm not around kids a lot, but it feels like we're losing that like kind of understanding, but also excitement.
Yeah.
It's there sometimes, but I feel like I teach my sophomores Macbeth. I love Macbeth. It's one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. If I wasn't putting my whole pussy into it, I don't know if they would really connect with the play that much, but because I have so much excitement for it, I will basically translate it for them. Like, we'll read a passage of the Shakespeare, and instead of then reading the No Fear Shakespeare, I will be like, okay, this is basically what they're saying here,
Yeah.
right? And then that way they're able to access the themes, because I think that like what's at the heart of so many of these films, comedy, tragedy, is the themes of the plays, which
Yeah.
are so universal. Love or revenge or ambition. And if you can get like the teens to find the themes, then you can get their interest. But
Yeah.
sometimes there does have to be some translation to get there.
Yeah. I mean, if we go back to the Mayor Casterbridge, like, you know, he sells his whole family off basically, and then he becomes the Mayor Casterbridge, and then that family comes back and wants some comeuppance. And like, could you do that exact thing? Probably not. But I think you could have a lot of fun with that. Like, literally any of these texts, like you're saying, the themes are there. Like, we're still human. We're still telling similar stories. Like, there is just a through line of humanity in a lot of these things. And like, that's rife for adaptation.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's a question of like, what are you reading or watching it for? Are you reading or watching the Shakespeare play / Shakespeare adaptation so that you can understand things exactly as they were in Shakespeare's time? Or are you reading / watching them so that you can feel as people felt in Shakespeare's time? Because you can watch 10 Things I Hate About You, laugh your ass off, and get the same kind of entertainment as somebody would have watching the Shakespearean play. Or you can watch a modernized version of a tragedy and feel the same sadness and empathy as someone would have felt back in his day. And I think that maybe that emotion is more important than like an exact historical understanding.
Yeah. Well said.
But the language is really beautiful. Like, just to nerd out one more time, like when we were talking about the language demands of the Shakespeare versus like the modernized texts and the modernized adaptations, all of a sudden in my mind, I was like getting an image of the Notre Dame Cathedral. Like, this is ADHD. Where as you guys were speaking, I was like going to a place where I was like, no, exactly. Shakespeare is the Notre Dame when it's completed. And you stand in front of it and you're like, wow, this is so beautiful. I don't know how the fuck they made that.
Yeah.
But then when you read No Fear Shakespeare, or when your English teacher translates the text for you, or when some really fucking good writers write a great movie adaptation, it's like all of a sudden you get to see the scaffolding and the structure underneath.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, I understand now. I understand what's at the core of this thing. It doesn't take away from the beauty and the awe that you had when you looked at the thing in its original form, but it makes you able to appreciate it more.
Yeah. Well, and you understand other cathedrals and other types of buildings. And
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, if there's anyone out there like me who is actually not the biggest Shakespeare fan, you could still...
I would say I'm relatively neutral.
You can still get so much enjoyment out of these types of adaptations. And I agree, you still get that, you gain that understanding. And like you were saying, Kaylin, like, then because Shakespeare is still Shakespeare, you then learn, oh, this is where this came from. And now that's why this person does this or whatever.
It's like when we watched 2001 Space Odyssey.
Exactly. And you don't have to love Shakespeare to...
Just like you don't have to love 2001 Space Odyssey.
Exactly.
But I personally will ride 10 toes down for that man. That's my Michael Bay.
We know.
Oh, if there's one thing we know about Alexys is she likes a good question and she loves Shakespeare. Did I say one thing?
And that's the thing, is that you can't sum up my beautiful mind in one thing.
I feel like we could... No, that doesn't work. I was like, we could make an acronym for ADHD that has like a beautiful mind in there somewhere, but that's just my beautiful mind again.
Attention deficit, hyper...
I don't know. There's some way that you can... I'm sure there's a pun or a wordplay.
ADHD, OBM, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder of a beautiful mind.
Let's table this. Let's workshop it.
Okay, well, you leave us your your suggestions for what we should call our mental illness.
Please, I need help.
Or what we should call our High School Odyssey adaptation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It can't just be O.
Because that's already taken.
Okay, Roomies, thank you so much for listening.
We hope you'll keep reading the room with us.
So keep checking back for more episodes every Monday and Thursday that dive into the spaces where literature, media, and culture meet.
And please reach out to us at readtheroom@gmail.com for feedback and topic suggestions.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at readtheroom_culture club for the most up-to-date podcast information.
If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen.
Drop a comment below to let us know what your favorite Shakespeare or other classic literature adaptation is. And let us know if we missed any.
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Yeah, but just like the teen kind. I don't want you to yell at me about the
Yeah,
adult
we're
kind.
talking about teen movies.
Yeah. And remember to take up space in whatever room you're in.
Bye.
Bye, Roomies.